Now that I think about it, we've come along. Dragon Altar. It's me, Patty.
The two things you just said have no relation to one another. I'm sorry. I'm Tia.
I was explaining where we were and how I felt. It's an info sandwich. But I gotta say, with the Dragon Altar being sacred to the Draconians, I didn't think we'd be able to get in.
Yeah, even if we're here to deal with the Draconians under Fallspawn influence, it seems they trust us.
This is thanks to you, you know. You're the reason the Draconians trust us.
The only reason Arx is allowed here is because the Elder Draconians have accepted you. I think that's something worth being proud of, though it seems like the higher-ups in Arx might be a bit distrusting of the whole deal.
Well, that's one hell of a way to say thanks to the person who helped us form a bond with the Draconians. I think you're a hero. But we need to stay on our toes. All Draconians don't necessarily think the same. Or, she also said there might be some Draconians who are still hostile to Arx. So, we can't be too careful.
Though I gotta say, listening to her blab on about the Draconians for almost an hour was pretty unbearable.
Oh, I finally found you! You have entirely way too much energy. Try thinking of the people trying to track you down, would you? No, wait. I didn't run all the way here just to only say that. There's somewhere you absolutely have to come with me. We'll meet up here at the Dragon Altar. I'll fill you in on the day we meet, okay? Right. Next stop is that way. How'd I end up with this job? It's nothing bad, I promise. Ah, you made it. Okay, let's head out. It's this way. You want to know where we're going and who will be there? Oh, don't be a worrywart. You'll find out when we get there. It'll be faster for you to see it for yourself. Plus, we don't have a lot of time. We gotta hurry. Just as I thought, Fallspawn everywhere. I guess they're reacting to him. That's gotta be a mess for the Draconians. They're gonna get mixed up in all of this. Or maybe that's why all those negotiations took place beforehand. They were expecting these kinds of attacks, so they wanted to make their move. I swear, what jerks. You want to know about who we're meeting? I said you'd see when we get there. I know that's not what you want to hear, though. Let's see... Well, they look like a kid. Real tiny. Their personality is jam-packed with things to annoy people. They're arrogant and self-righteous. They're cocky, even though they never really do anything themselves. All they do is give orders. Ugh, just talking about this has me in a bad mood. Anyway, let's end the little chat here and get to where we're going, shall we? Shall we rest for a bit? We aren't exactly in a rush. Plus, it'll keep the person we're meeting in suspense. Being ordered around all the time just adds to the stress, don't you think? Huh? Why do I obey their orders then, you ask? Well, I suppose you could say we share common goals. Though mostly I do it because I'm forced to. Plus, I owe it to him. To the one making the orders. And to Maria. Were it not for that, I wouldn't be doing this. Sometimes he sends me transmissions randomly, not caring that I might actually be busy. All of this is why I'm making sure your expectations are appropriately low before you meet him. This way, no matter what ridiculously haughty thing they say, you'll get how not seriously you can take it.
Xiao, the one we've been waiting for has arrived.
Thank you for taking the time to prepare this space for us, Camise.
No need to thank me. It is basic draconian etiquette to repay favors. Now then, until we meet again.
Yeah, just wait. I'll have some good news forthcoming. And thank you, Sarah, for all your hard work. Though I heard all of the things that you said on the way here.
I know. I spoke knowing you'd be listening.
Oh, your parents must be proud of how well behaved their little girl turned out.
I'm sure they are. After all, I had such wonderful role models.
If we keep this up, our friend here will expect even less of me.
Finish that thought, and I will mock you for the rest of my years.
What for? Don't normal people use phrases like that? You're the one who taught them to me.
That's not important. Anyway, time for you to explain. Time is of the essence, is it not?
Yeah. I swear our kinsmen are so... Now then, let us start this off properly. Greetings, I am Xiao. Thank you for always looking after Xion. Well, to put it simply, I'm sort of Xion's younger brother. And I'm trying to get her released. I apologize for calling you out here. This was all I could do to meet you while avoiding Luther's notice. I wound up asking a lot of Camise and caused trouble for the Draconians, but it was worth it to finally meet you. Xion fell in love with you at first sight, you know. As you may have noticed, Arx is in a bad place right now. They're practically Luther's puppets. The only thing keeping Arx together right now is the fact that Luther doesn't understand Xion. The reason she doesn't use human speech is to keep Luther from understanding her. However, that means when she communicates, she can be hard to follow. My apologies for that. But I have to wonder if you've noticed that her words are gradually starting to bear out meaning. That is to say, she is getting close to becoming human. But that also risks Luther finding out what's going on. I fear time is not on our side. Which is why I'm taking action and putting Sarah to work. I'd like you to work for me as well. To help me restore Arx to a proper path.
It seems like it can't be true, right? That's how I feel. And while I want to say, leave me out of all of this, I know it's true. Xiao is arrogant, and it gets on my nerves. He makes a lot of insinuations, and it makes me mad. But this, it's true.
Sarah, are you aware that my mind grew this way from conversing with you? Every insult you fling my way is mirrored in yourself.
A little self-sacrifice is character building.
How wonderful of you to be so righteous. I'll make sure to sing lullabies in your head as you dream.
I can enter the core. You do that, and I'll make sure you fall into an eternal slumber, lullabies and all.
Here we go again. Off topic, and my credibility is going down the toilet.
And whose fault is that?
At the very least, we know it's not your fault. I know that it's not easy to believe what I've told you. So, let me provide you some proof. Proof that we can change the status of this situation. There. All we have to do is head to the designated point in the Navarian ruins. We can make a slight change to what happened the day that Dark Falls was revived, without anyone knowing that we did it. You met up with Sarah and Maria the day before, right? The place you met them is where we need to go. Don't worry, I'll handle the time adjustments. You just worry about doing things exactly as you did before. You'll just be changing a little history. To the outside observer, it might seem like a tiny change, but it'll have a big impact.
It's time, Xiao.
Got it, Sarah. All right, I've said what I had to say. It's up to you now whether you believe it or not. But I believe. I believe in you.
Huh? Why are you staring at me like that? Do I have something on my face? Yeah? I tied my hair differently for a little change of pace. I guess it's kind of weird, huh? Sorry, I'll switch it back before you see me again. That's not what you meant? You mean it? Well, fine then. Thanks for noticing. There's no point in getting all dressed up if nobody notices, you know? Wait, no, I didn't mean dressed up. I just wanted to try something new, that's all. Okay, bye.
Okay, time to start rewriting history. Avoid any and all distractions and go straight to Sarah.
You're really here, just like Xiao said.
Oh my, you're... I see, so you were chosen. Is this mere coincidence, or something more?
Save the yapping for later. I don't want to waste my time listening to a conversation only future me would understand. Besides, if we don't hurry, there's no way we'll make it in time. What do you mean, what are we doing? You're here to change history, aren't you?
Now then, you two have kept me in the dark long enough. I am number 2 of the 6, you know. So I think it's high time you explain what we are doing here.
I'm just following Xiao's orders. Apparently, if we go to the point, reinforcements will arrive. Xiao... That's why you're here.
While I do not know what that something is, I fear we may already be too late. Based on the powerful false spawn readings I am getting, I believe that the seal on Dark Falls has already been broken.
Apparently it needs to be broken. If it isn't, then Luther won't show himself. He says it's all part of the plan. Stupid Xiao! Why didn't you say that in the first place? You made us worry for nothing. What do you mean I shouldn't blame others for my own idiocy? Listen, you little...
Well then, putting Sarah's little spat aside, what do you think of all this? If our goal is not to stop Dark Falls from being revived, then what is it we were sent here to do? I see. We are supposed to rescue an Arx operative who is fighting Dark Falls? That much seems doable, at least. Well, whether our goal is to defeat it or rescue the Arx operative fighting it, we had better hurry. Come on, Sarah! Enough arguing now. Put it to bed and hurry up.
Oh, right! Way to get me yelled at, stupid Xiao!
Damn! How can anything even be this strong?
Is this the best you can do? Are the Arx ranks so rife with weaklings? I hunger for more. And you, little Arx man, shall give it to me. This new body of mine knows it to be true.
This sounds like a certain someone is overestimating me then. Right now, I'm running on empty.
Spare me your pretense. If that were true, why would you have chosen to stand here and face me alone? If the two of you had fought together, you might have stood a chance.
Well, that was never gonna happen. You think I'd want to get anyone wrapped up in all this? No, this is personal.
You wish to play the martyr, then? Very well. Bear witness to the futility of your struggle. You again.
You? What are you all doing here? Is this some sort of dream?
Oh, how I wish it was. So that's Dark Falls Elder, is it?
It most certainly is. The very same Dark Falls that destroyed Arx 40 years ago. Which must mean it's been 40 years now since we last crossed paths. Hasn't it, Elder?
That voice, and the figure behind it. Yes, I remember you.
You sure seem to have taken on a much more humanoid look since the last time I saw you. Maybe losing to all of us taught you a thing or two?
And how I owe you for that. To you, it may have been 40 years since our encounter, but for me, it has been mere moments. A battle to be remembered, to be sure. A fight to the absolute brink. An experience unlike any other.
Sorry to interrupt your walk down memory lane, but I am not here to swap stories. I take it you're not quite back to your old self. I don't know if it's that new body of yours, or the seal, or what, but I suppose none of that will matter. Once I have cut you down, let us end this right here and now. You end here, Elder. May all those who came before me grant me power now as I usher you to oblivion. Here and now, I will finally accomplish what Alma, Kasra, Regius, and myself could not 40 years ago. With you gone, we will no longer have any need for the trio of heroes nor the Council of Six. And that, at least, is a step in the right direction worth taking, is it not?
Maria, let me
I don't need the injured. Stand back! The same goes for both of you two, if you lack the courage.
Yeah, right. As if we'd back down from this.
Emergency code used. Completed.
My powers, they fail me. How could this be? How? It's you. It was you who birthed all this decay. And you who dares to erase me from this world. Damn you! This power, this body, this will not suffice. I need more. Where is my true power? My true form? Where have you hidden it? Where is it? Of course. There it is.
Don't turn your back on me now. Did you not hear me when I told you I would cut you down? Prepare to fall. Labris! now. The old you would have easily pushed back against an attack this week.
Oh, how I would, with my true form.
Now you cannot, and that regret shall crush you. What? And who are you? Another Dark Falls? Hold on. Your photon energy isn't... Oh, we've been had. You two were leaving.
Is everyone still in one piece?
You should be ashamed that you're out of breath after only that, Sarah. Someone hasn't been keeping up on their training.
Oh, can it, Maria? It's high time you realized that you're the odd one out here. Is it even okay for you to use Labyrinth like that?
Oh, are you worried about me now?
Not about you. About the cosmogenic arm itself.
Right. Well, not really, no. I think I'm about to owe Zig the apology of the decade.
I'm really sorry you had to come out here and save me like that. It's kind of embarrassing after I put on that big show, huh?
It's honestly a miracle that you stood up to the Elder alone and lived to tell the tale. You certainly seem to have an awful sort of luck, youngster.
Can you quit calling me that, Maria? Khosrow was there with me at the start, though. We ended up getting separated along the way, but I'm sure he made it out fine.
Khosrow was with you, was he? Well then, I suppose that means Luther knows exactly what was going down out there. On the other hand, this could be our chance. This means they're all assuming Zeno here is dead now. We may have just picked ourselves up a trump card. Maybe this is the whole reason why we found ourselves there in the first place.
If you're here, that must mean Echo and our friend there got out all right too, huh? Glad to hear I helped at least that much. Elder was stronger than anything I'd ever imagined, and that thing wasn't even back to its full power yet, was it? I can't just go on like this. The way I am now, there's no way I'll be able to protect anyone.
No, I do not imagine there is. Not as the amateur hunter you are today. I tell you what, though there are far worse things than a headstrong young man like you, you've got guts to be sure. So, how about this then? How about I train you myself, youngster? Fix you up into someone who can actually defend the people he loves.
Would you?
Just think of it as a favor for now. I've got plenty to work out myself, now that we've failed to put a stop to Elder. Sarah, do I have Xiao's approval?
That was his plan all along, so he's glad we got here early, he says. Unlike Sarah, who... Listen, Xiao, I don't need this right now.
I want to thank you. And ask a favor? Sorry. Could you keep my whole situation a secret from Echo? I feel like this is all the last thing she needs right about now. Don't worry, though. I'll be back once we've set things straight. So just take care of her for me, would you? She's doing all right, you say? You make it sound like you've already been out to check. I won't forget this, and I'll return to repay my debts, don't you worry. Just hold it together until I make it back, eh?
Enough of this charade now, Xion. Such futile endeavors are beneath you. Oracle and Arcs are all in the palm of my hand, and soon, you shall join them.
Nothing in this universe is futile. These people convinced me of that, and it is from there we began.
Very well. Struggle all you like. A few twists and turns in our story will make things all the more interesting. I will enjoy watching it all play out. Such is the pleasure and privilege of those unburdened by fleeting mortality. Such is our right. And you? I've heard so much about all of the things you've gotten up to. Do as you like. I won't impede you. Make things interesting for me. When you live forever, you need a little bit of stimulation. Wouldn't you all agree?
Luther may have cast aside his humanity, but he has not forgotten what it is to be mortal. He is enjoying this entirely too much. Because he was once mortal, he fears boredom above all else. That is his strength, but also his weakness. Something to take advantage of. Were it up to me, that is what I would do. We also think the same way. Therefore, we are not mistaken. You must keep the faith and move forward. The path you seek will come. A new path, desired by all.
Xiao has finally bust onto the scene. Huh. In that case, then that'll probably end up that way. And, maybe that's what will happen. Oh, sorry. When I was young and sickly, I used to stay in bed and read a lot of books. I always really enjoyed imagining what was going to happen. That's why I'm so curious about why Xion created Xiao and had you two meet when you did. From here on out, you'll be borrowing Xiao's power to put an end to Luther's plot. I wonder if everything leading to this was inevitable. Elder managed to revive, Theodore is still being used, and Luther keeps closing in on Xion. Maybe Luther would have suspected something if any one of those conditions weren't met. It was probably a future Xion only arrived at after seeing failure after failure. Any shortcuts and it all would have fallen apart. Elder was allowed to revive, and Zeno was rescued. That's one thing Luther doesn't know.
add it all up, and it connects to Xion's plan for the distant future. They're lining up all the pieces for that purpose. This must be how it starts. In fact, I think everything you've done has moved things forward. Sarah trusts you now after all you've done, and you've even got Mary helping you out. How is it all gonna come together? Let's watch the next recording.
Heya, boss! We sure do bump into each other a lot, don't we? Guess that means we're both hard workers. There's a ton of us. Humans, Newmans, Casts, and Dumons. You think we wouldn't see each other around that much. But I feel like the only one I ever run into lately is you. Maybe a coincidence, but I feel like the idea of it being fate is more romantic. Throughout the history of arcs, there's all kinds of things that can't be explained and can't just be random chance. Like the origin of Doomen, for example. I don't know how long ago it was, but I heard that some biological remains appeared out of a temporal rift. I've only read the records myself, but it was said that the remains were clearly from another time period. It was like a fall spawn, but it had skin like a dragon. They did experiments with it. And that's what led to us being created. Also, I need you to keep this next part between us. The remains, their composition bears a strong resemblance to that of the rampaging dragons. That's a pretty strange coincidence or random chance, if I do say so myself. But I do enjoy existing, so I don't want to overthink it too much.
Well, hello there. I can see you're being a busy bee. Do you happen to be familiar with this weapon type? This is a katana. It's a special weapon favored by Regius, head of the trio of heroes. It seems Regius has finally decided to show the next generation how to use them. You could say it's Regius's legacy, I suppose. Not that my skill with them is much to brag about. Now then, I'm gonna give you a special lesson on katanas. The most important thing about them is... Well, I guess you could say timing is the most important aspect. Take a breath and unsheath your blade. Sync up your breathing with your enemies, then counter their moves. I suppose that's the gist of it. The reason Regius never taught before was because this requires keen senses and lots of practice. If you don't sync up your breathing and lose your cool, your blade will dull. This weapon requires sharp senses most of all. But if you manage to maintain the proper form, the power of the katana is unmatched. You want to try it?
Hey there, Arcs Up! Yes, you! I'm Huey, 6th of the Council of Six. Wait, have we met? Because I feel like we might have met. Or maybe we haven't. Oh, this is gonna bug me. What am I saying? No, it won't. Don't sweat the small stuff, right? More importantly, do you have any crises I can help solve? Even after joining the Council of Six, helping people is all I'm really good at. And I've got nothing better to do. Everyone's got things they're good at, and this goes to show the Council of Six is no different. I can't help who I am. Besides, we pillars are chosen purely based on strength, because it means we're less likely to croak. Short-lived leaders are bad for morale. Oh? I sense the photons of someone in distress. With that, I'll be taking my leave. Farewell!
Yes, but you needn't shout so loudly, Rila. Well, as you can plainly see, this time Rila is showing me around. She's teaching me about the exceptional nature of this place. You were born here as well, Rila?
Yes. Master Times created me. Here. The newest soul.
That explains a lot. It's just your imagination. Though, Rila, does that mean you were born looking as you are now? Master Kamiz, you say? I don't believe I have met him yet.